Hello and welcome. This is another session of Strixhaven School of Mages. We're using the Dungeons & Dragons 5e setting. This is a magical school setting. We're modifying it a little bit for our play. If you know Strixhaven, you may hear a few things different. We're going to be digging into life in the school a little bit further today. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. And this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming club / community. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We just had our Gauntlet Community Open Gaming Weekend this last weekend, which is a free online convention that we do about twice a year now. We've got a ton of videos from that. If you're interested in other kinds of videos and things, there are a bunch of different games that got run this weekend, including, I would say, at least 8 or 9 that I'm like, I have never heard of that game. I literally do not know what it is you're playing, and I love it. We are going to be taking up, but I want to remind us of our safety tools that we have in play, which are the X card, our open door policy, but we're also using lines and veils. So just a quick recap. For lines, we have hard lines on homophobia, sexual assault, torture by the PCs, transphobia, fat phobia. And then for veils, meaning anything that if it were to come up, we would do it like off screen, or we would fade to black. And that is dental horror, drug abuse, sexual content, and tinnitus, I think is how you say that, but probably not. Those are things that, should they arise as an issue, that we're not going to dwell on that. And then we've got to ask first if there would be a question of mind control, which is an important point to have, since we do have a D&D which has some spells and things that force behaviors. So we definitely want to check in before we do those. So just so you know at home, if you're listening to this or watching this, we are doing this video via Zoom because I cannot get the video and audio on Roll20 to work, despite being a high-level subscriber and in here from the beginning. So just so you know, that's what's going on. But we are using Roll20 for the sheets and the set modules and things like that. You may also hear us refer to the NPC tab and things. We have a separate Google Doc that we're using to keep those pictures in, because it's what we're used to in terms of organizing things. So last time we established your place at House Dark-Sul, and you got set up there. We had rooms that were chosen. We found out about the house and how it's barely held together with magic. And we met some of your fellow students there. The next thing that we did is you had the opportunity to go to each of your classes. We introduced the instructors for those classes, talked a little bit about what they're like, and did some scenes with that. And then we did some post-class debriefs and arguments about cake that were vital there. We're going to be taking up after that. This is the day that students get a chance to go and look at the clubs and the extracurricular activities, and also look around and see if they want to get a job. Why would you do these things? Because extracurriculars give you skill bonuses for different skills. In this setting, jobs give you a little bit of money, and they also connect you potentially with an NPC. Both the sort of Strixhaven book has some set NPCs that are associated with different extracurriculars, as well as with the jobs that are are there. So let me start here. Nicholas, like, how do you think they have this organized for people to go and meet the clubs? You know, is it like a job fair style thing? Is it in a separate place? Is it outside? Is it like you're guided to different areas? What do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean the job fair is the obvious, but I don't like that as much as like I don't know if anyone's done here's the easy parallel. It's like a scavenger hunt. You get a
Okay,
piece of paper, it's scattered across campus. They provide like rough descriptions of how to find these different clubs. Look for the clock tower, turn around 12 times, run until you fall down. And then you get to talk to the Dragon Chess Club.
absolutely. And there's probably a little thing where you have the even if you're not thinking of joining the club, you need to get the stamps.
Yes,
And if you can get a certain
absolutely.
amount of stamps, you can get a certain amount of campus swag.
And so orienteering racing is the thing that I was really thinking about. I think that there are like a dozen people who are like kitted up for this as if it was a race and are like shaking out and like trying to get first place. They just want to visit every one of these as quick as possible. There's some sort of trophy or award if they pull off first place.
Absolutely. And it's a lovely day out today. So let me ask you this, Talon, like you've got this list of extracurriculars, and you can should be able to see those in the. I think I've shared that journal with all of you in the Roll20.
I
Mhm.
didn't see anything listed in it. I just saw
Okay,
the image.
if you click on it, does it pull up the jobs tab or the extracurriculars tab?
I've
It,
got extracurriculars tab, but player
but it's
art handout students celebrate.
Uh, yeah, it should have. So let me show you what I'm seeing here on share screen.
Sure.
Uh, uh, so off to the side, there should be, I'm gonna make sure let me do this. It may be because it reset in between. Check and see if you can now see the extracurriculars or job uh,
Sure.
thing in the side. Can you?
Just it's loading extracurriculars. Mm, no, I'm still seeing the same uh swirly pink blue art.
yeah, me too.
But when you click on it, it doesn't bring up the. Okay, let me
No.
try this. See if it does it now. Now that I've hit again, show to players.
Um
I don't know where this link is, but it's
Uh,
going to be the same as in the book as well, right?
yeah.
mm,
Yeah, I'll stick with the book for today.
Okay. So let me go through briefly what the extracurriculars are, Talon, and you can tell me if any of these appeal to you.
all right.
So there is a Dead Languages Society, the Distinguished Society of Fine Artists, the Dragon Chess Club, the Dragon's Card Historical Society, the Fantastical Horticultural Society or Club, sorry, Future Entrepreneurs of Strixhaven, Intramural Gymnastics Club, Intramural Silk Ball Club, Intramural Water Dancing Club, the Live Action Role Playing Guild, the Mage Tower Cheer Squad, Mage Tower being the big sporting event, the Play Actors Drama Guild, Strixhaven Iron Lifters Society, Strixhaven Show Band Association, Strixhaven Star, which is the newspaper, and the Student Mages of Faith.
I am torn between the Strixhaven, sorry, Play Actors Drama Guild and the Dead Languages Society.
Mhm.
That's
No.
what
I'm going to put
I
that
would
in.
love Talon being in the drama guild. I think
Yeah, I
that'd be
think-
adorable.
I think we'll do that. I think Talon will go for the drama. Let's say maybe someone ropes them into the drama guild.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like that's something that would happen.
Yeah, let's get everybody's kind of ideas, and then let's kind of do some scenes about what that looks like. You can be up to 2 extracurriculars, or you can be an extracurricular and have a job if you want.
Oh, okay.
So
Good job.
Wolfie, any of those things appeal to you?
Yeah, can you give me a short synopsis on the Magic Users of Faith one?
Mhm.
These pious students of many faiths gather to share prayers and theological debates and to celebrate one another's high holidays.
How interesting. And then there was another one that I wanted to ask about. Go ahead and come back to me.
Okay, but well, at least I'll put in parentheses faith there.
Yeah, please do.
Vince, what about for you?
All right, so I think Fonzie is going to enroll with the journalist group, the Strixhaven Star,
Strixhaven Star.
and I think they're particularly interested in writing for page 6, getting involved in gossip.
Okay. Page 6, gossip. And what about for Fen?
Yeah. Fen is going to join the Strixhaven Iron Lifters Society, more because he was recruited in than because he seeked them out. So
I like that. So let me see. So you will, Talon. Let's start with you. Let's say the drama guild is the first thing. Like it maybe kind of appeals to you a little bit, right? Okay. You will be kind of wandering around, sort of following that, and this human gentleman will come up and will say, "Can I help you? Are you looking for something?"
And Talon like follows the hand and looks up and around and tries to see what he's pointing at.
That was a dramatic gesture. Perhaps you are looking for the Players Guild.
Well, what is the Players Guild?
It is the Drama Society. You seem like someone expressive of wit, wanting to present yourself on stage. What do you think? What is your name?
It's Talon. Talon Stark, sir.
Excellent, excellent. And which of the dorms are you living in, Talon?
I forgot. Dark Soul? Was it Dark Soul, right?
Dark Soul, yeah. Interesting. The smallest of this. I understand there was something strange and ominous which happened on day 1.
Yes, but and like Talon is just sort of like trying to keep that on the down low, not really like he's not really comfortable discussing it.
Yes. My name is Quintilius.
Quintilius, good to meet you, sir.
Yes, I am a 3rd year from Prismari, and I am a recruiter for the Drama Guild. So we are well met today, are we not?
Yes, well met well, yes.
Yes, come with me. Let's walk. What do you know of theater?
Not a lot, sir. There wasn't a lot of theater where I came from. I mean, just as much as anyone else in my village.
Theater is an amazing experience. It is working with a group to bring stories to life, and some people are before the curtain, bringing those words and movements into being. And some people have the equally vital job of working behind the scenes in, and no pun intended, the wings, to help make things work. The guide the curtains, build the stages, control the flow of things. Does that seem interesting to you?
Mm, yeah, I am good with my hands, sir. I would, I would love to give it a shot if it means learning something new.
Absolutely. And he will take you into the theater. What is Matthew, like, what's the dominant look of this theater? Because everything in Strixhaven is stylized. This building has to look like a swan, or this one is made of flowers. What's the dominant look here in the theater?
I think it's got a surprisingly imposing modern sensibility, and by modern I mean like the stage is full of like aggressive, like dark angular features on the background. Like it's not something you would conventionally think of as like a theater. If anything, it looks like it looks like it's an art installation in and of itself.
Okay, so say so. This is sort of a design from our outgoing theater president. We're not married to it yet. It's very sharp, I think is the word I want to use for it. And there's a group of people around, and Talon, he will bring you up on stage, and he says, now Talon, would you be, you've said you're good with your hands, and there's a great place for you backstage, but have you thought about maybe performing just a little?
I've never considered. No one's ever asked, sir.
Well, here, and he hands you a sheet of paper. Perhaps I could have you do a line reading.
Like Talon visibly swallows, and then but then sort of like adjusts his collar, steals himself.
Before you begin, do this with me, will you? Just stand there. Me, my mama, close enough. All right. So let's see how well Talon does in doing this on the spot line reading. So why don't you make a performance roll?
Sure. Before Talon starts, like he does noise with his throat. That's kind of like, it's what Frank Oz sounds like before he prepares for Yoda, where he goes like, that little noise he does.
Getting ready. People look concerned,
yeah.
but then they calm down. They wait for you to step out.
All right, and we'll do a performance check. That would be a charisma, I'm going to assume.
Yep.
And I don't think I trained in performance, but let me make sure that's the case.
But you do have a +3 charisma bonus, which is pretty good.
All right, let's do it. Performance +3, roll 1d20 +3. Roll 1d20 +3.
So that's a 16 altogether. So you're pretty good. What kind of role do you think they have you read out here?
I think they kind of tried to not punk me, but like tease Talon by giving him the role of maybe a major character, like a prince or a king, someone with a very, very someone with a very nefarious and sketchy personality, who is clearly meant to be a scenery chewer. That's what it is. It's like a scenery chewing role, something that a Willem Dafoe might eat the shit out of.
Do you lean into it? Or are you more restrained in your approach, do you think?
I think Talon approaches it very restrained for about 80% of it, and as
Mhm.
towards the climax of the segment, that's when he really cuts loose to sort of like show like the explosive power of the character.
Excellent. And Quintilius will come up afterwards. He says, you know, I know you said you were just good with your hands, but you have a certain je ne sais quoi that would be good on the
Gesundheit.
stage. Yeah, yes, it is a phrase. But yes, I hope that you will join the drama club.
Um, sure, yes. If you feel like I can thrive here, you know.
Absolutely. You can thrive. You will be able to spread your wings and fly here, metaphorically. It is also fairly large, so if you had to like non-metaphorically fly, you could
Yeah,
also do that.
I think when he just spreads his wings, like Talon also spreads his wings, but
Yes,
it's very hesitant and nervous and awkward. Like, oh.
excellent. And I have put a picture of Quintilius there on the NPC page. He is in B78 on the student NPC tab. Let us come back to Wolfie. Now, I know you mentioned the faith, but did you want me to go through that list again, maybe to see what you're thinking?
I think I have an idea. I
Okay.
think that Wolfie is so used to taking up every moment of his time, either cleaning or serving or in some sort of ministry or something of that sort. I think that maybe you can pick a teacher that was like, you need leisure. So he is on like forced leisure to go play at the LARPing club.
Okay. So yeah, I think it is it might even be Mrs. Darkbow
Okay.
who looms over you and says, Master Wolfgang.
Yes, ma'am.
I have been watching you these last few days, and it seems to me that you have a very admirable dedication to your work.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
But part of the experience here at Strixhaven is also to relax and enjoy yourself.
Oh, well, I just relaxed today. I cleaned my cell, and that's when he opens like his closet. It looks exactly the same as it always does.
No, that's not that. No, I have decided that you are going to be joining the live action role playing club.
Oh,
I am the faculty advisor to the live action role playing club.
oh. And what do you do there, ma'am?
Well, the live action role playing guild is a gathering of storytelling enthusiasts who engage in a mix of strategy and play acting, often involving mascots, but not necessarily, in which you enact fantastical narratives that you resolve with special rules.
Oh boy. I don't know. But what if all this work? Who will clean the chandelier?
We have people for that. That is not your task here at the school.
I don't suppose you're ordering me to do this, ma'am.
If the only way to get you to do this is for me to order you to do this, then yes, I am ordering you to do this.
Okay.
Here is the notes on how to find the rooms. Head over there, and I've told Rosie to expect you.
Very
Now,
well. Oh, I like scurry out.
So where do you suppose the LARPing club is located in this wondrous, fantastical school? What space has been given over to them? Is it a place of prominence? Is it a dingy back room? Is it a smaller disused theater? Like what do you think has been given over?
I think, well, do you remember our tiny spider people?
Yes.
Okay. I think that like the map or the instructions that I'm given just lead to a dead end. And we have like another cowboy spider person go like, psst, down here. And I think like I magically go down this hall very like Willy Wonka like, and just sort of shrink as I go. And it's actually a tiny room this big in a corner.
You can see it's a room. There are quite a few people there. They're already in costumes and things. You can see that several of them are poring over these weird tomes that they seem to be arguing about. There seems to be some sort of either version or edition or like homebrew thing that's going on here that you're uncertain about. And you will see this, what's very clearly a gnome, and one of the like tiny gnome people, but here they're like, now because everyone else is shrunk, they've only shrunk themselves a little, so they're like human height.
I love that. Can everyone be the same height here in this magical room? That's awesome.
Yeah. And Rosie will come over and she will say, and who might you be?
Oh, I'm Wolfgang.
Mrs. Darkbow said that you'll be coming. She said that you were wound a little tightly.
Oh, I no, there's been some sort of mistake. I was actually hoping if you could tell Miss Darkbow that I was here, but you see, I have some very important duties that I have to go take care of.
No.
Oh.
See, you seem like a nice and dedicated young man. However, I have no desire to cross Mrs. Darkbow.
Understandable. You see, I've never been forced to have fun before.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Okay. Oh boy.
It's structured fun. It's not just free fun.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
You seem like a person who'd like a little more cruft, a little more complication in your LARPing. Good. Come with me.
I don't suppose there's some sort of manual I could read.
Oh, I have such sights to show you. And it is very clear that there is a sort of a split here between a very storytelling focused set of people here and the people who have the manuals, including Rosie, who is very excited to pull out once you ask about the manuals. She has the books out right away. She has pulled them out. She has laid them out in front of you. She says, let's work through a character for you. Let me ask you this. You're given the opportunity in here to come up with any kind of character. What kind of character does Wolfgang make up?
Okay. So back home, actually putting on plays to proselytize is actually very common. So I think Wolfie ironically falls into like the more impromptu storytelling style. And I think he makes a couple quick friends, and as long as like they promise not to tell his parents, he takes on like the antagonist role.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so that you kind of start that. I have a picture of Rosie in the NPC tab as well. You can see her carrying, in fact, the manual for the LARPing rules there. So,
That's awesome. Can you send me a link to the character keeper?
oh, absolutely. Let me grab that
Yeah.
again. Copy.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Let's come to you, Vince. You will head to the Strixhaven Star, which is the newspaper for this. So let me check how it describes it just to make sure. There are offices for the Star. What are they like?
So I think that there's paper literally flying everywhere, with like story fragments in pieces, and it's a very hectic environment because everybody's rushing to get the big scoop. I think one of the things we see is somebody getting a picture developed on one of their cameras. So what they've done is they've opened up the camera, and the little demon inside of the camera has its easel, and it's just doing the finishing touches of the painting of the photo that it's taken. And they're gently taking that off, and they're gluing it over onto something for the front page. And I think if we have like an editor, he is like shouting out assignments to the various journalists to get them out back on the streets, hitting the pavement.
What? Actually, let me start again. So there's an editor. It's clearly a fourth year. They have the look of a person who maybe started out with some ambitions to really become a mage, but doing this has given them a new focus on life, and they're wearing kind of very neutral clothing. They've made a deliberate thing to for the neutrality of the press to not be a member of any one of the 5 colleges. Tell me about this person. What people are they from? Are they male? Are they female? Who are they?
Okay. I think she is a half orc, and partly is taking the job, like in part she's taller than anybody else working at the paper, and because it's such a chaotic environment, just like has that presence to be able to get everyone to draw down and focus. She's anxious, but is very directive with that energy. What other details about her? Hands are just like covered in ink.
Absolutely. Probably an ink mage of some kind. And we'll call her Welna. Oop. Did that backwards. So she pulls you. There's some other people that are there, but you can tell that it's like the idea of being on the school paper is maybe not that exciting to a lot of the first years. But you will see 2 other students are there as well. One from the Breck dorm. You will see Grayson Wildmere. And he is exactly as his name sounds. And you will also see a woman from the Thorns dorm named Mina Lee. And Welna kind of sits down with the 3 of you and turns to Grayson and says, so Grayson, tell me, what are your strengths? What is it you want to do? He says, well, my family, of course, one of the most elite and illustrious families here in the Strixhaven area, has a lot of connections. And so I thought it would be excellent if I brought that to bear to profiles on some of the great mages and so on. But I feel like I could handle that kind of thing. And she'll turn, all right, Mina, and Mina's like, I just want to find stuff out. just want to find stuff out. Yeah, I want to have a license to go and bug people.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mina,
that's
you
what I
and I are
want.
going to be great friends.
And Welna will turn to you and she'll say, what's your last name, Fonzie?
Oh, Jesus. What is my last name? Leiden.
Leiden. She goes, Leiden, are you related to the professors, Leiden?
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't seen either of my parents in a while, so I'm not 100% sure they recognize me. This is going somewhere. I'll just answer with a yes.
Oh, good. There's I've had classes with both of them. That's all
Yeah,
I'll say.
They're good people.
So tell me why you want to be a member of the Strixhaven Star.
I, much like Mina, I want to find out things about people. And I want to make sure that when I find out things about people, more things find things out about those people. And then, it's about that open book philosophy. I think that a bright candle embiggens us all.
I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I like the idea about information free. We do need some page 6 writers. If you and Mina are interested in that. The folks that worked on that before have opted not to continue, given
That's
events.
a shame. Oh, what events? That could be our first story.
So the page 6 is very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It is a great chance to meet people and to get known by lots of people.
Go on.
And sometimes I have found that sometimes people don't react in the best way when stories aren't told in exactly the way that they would like them to be told.
I mean, all publicity is good publicity. Just spell my name right?
Absolutely. I think all publicity is good publicity is a thing people say. And I believe that is a phrase. So yes.
Nina, let's go dig up some dirt.
Yeah, she's thumbs up. She's excited. She is ready to go. And hold on. And Welna will go and she will magically do some work, and then with that ink magic, and she will come back and she will present you with your press passes.
Oh gosh, we can get into anywhere with this.
No.
And I've already left.
I love it. So Fen, how is it that you get drawn into the Iron Lifters Society?
So picture this, if you will. There's a public park, a stream, some trees, some tables set up where people are playing dragon chess, which really kind of draws my attention. And I wander in thinking, oh my gosh, this is excellent. These people are obviously deep thinkers. I'm going to learn a lot about strategy, philosophy. And like I sit and watch them for like 2 or 3 hours and they don't talk at all. They're just so focused on their task. But behind them in the park is a small group of the Iron Lifters Society that call themselves the Philosophers of Iron and Brawn. And so they pull me in through conversations of philosophy, exactly what I was looking for.
There is the way of thinking about the self, what the self can achieve, what your potential is. You will live up to that potential.
I don't understand though. When you say that you should exert no effort in lifting the log, what does that even mean? How is that possible?
So the thing is, you have to also be the log. and exert no effort on the log.
So it's through being the log that you can. I've got to try this out.
Oh yeah. That's it takes a while. And the member of the club who is there is Greta Goroon. And to check the little notes on Greta here real quickly, if I may. Greta. And Greta is this female dwarf who is there, and she kind of, hey, and comes up to where you're at, jumps on a table, just to kind of get closer to eye level with you.
And I look down. Yeah,
Do you want to spot me?
sure.
Yeah. All right. And she'll go over to some of these fantastical weights that are there, carved in various metals. And
You just leave these in the park? I didn't even see this part of the park.
we've got bags of holding and stuff.
Oh wow, those are big bags.
They're not that big actually, because they're bags of
Wow.
holding. Right?
I've actually never had one or seen one. We just transport things in their full size.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna have to do that then. Yeah,
Yeah.
no more bags of holding for me. It's clearly holding me back. That's why I haven't achieved maximum effort. Right?
I thought it was maximum effort. Is that
Yeah.
what you're going for?
Yeah. Like becoming full being and nothingness to achieve
Oh,
maximum
yes.
effort.
Right. I do remember them talking about that over there. So, what are you lifting? What's going on here?
So like they got the different weights and things, and this is sort of the outdoor demonstration set. We've actually got a gymnasium, though sometimes. So this is what I heard, because like I'm a first year. I know you can't tell because I'm so mature.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, and so I was told that apparently we have to, like, sometimes there's like an acrobatics group and a dance group, and sometimes we have to like negotiate with them for the space. But there's lots of
Oh.
heavy things in there.
Okay. So we're out here when we can't get the. Well, I like this space better. I kind of like it that we didn't get the gym today.
Oh, cool. I like that too. So yeah, so what do you lift?
Well, mostly livestock recently.
Like
Uh,
goats,
horses.
horses?
Yeah.
Oh,
Introduce me to this machine. What is this?
so this is a like, and you stand here and you do push up on this thing, and this thing goes up.
Oh,
She clearly has no idea, but I suspect Fen does not realize that either.
no, I think she's the pro. She knows what's going on here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let us have you make a roll for me here.
Discern realities.
Discern realities. I think this is less that and more a question sort of skill wise of
Sure.
your athletics.
I lost my roll-20. It'll take me just a second.
Oh,
to find
sure,
that
absolutely.
Again. No. Okay. Character sheet. All right, so athletics.
Athletics.
And is this my spotting roll?
This is more for you to like when she badly describes how these machines work, how well you compensate for that.
Ah, yes, yes. Athletics, there it is.
So that looks like a 7.
I think I'm tied up in the ropes that are connected to those weight things that she was telling me not to pull on the weight part and not the lever part.
And I think there is a thing where the third and fourth year students come over and disentangle you two from this. But they're very nice about it because they need more bodies for this. And they're also like, oh, look at how big he's. Oh, I bet he could lift. And if we get him at this, for this weight class, they're very
I think
excited.
while it was wrapped around me, if I could, I
Yeah.
was doing like squats with it, right? So like the whole
Yeah.
machine that you're supposed to just be stretching the thing on the machine, it's like leg exercises. And is this right? Is this how?
Oh, that's yeah. We used to have a Herloon Minotaur in the club, but like he graduated out. So what we're really excited. Oh yeah. They seem like they pay a lot more attention to you than they do to Greta. And you can see that she's clearly not so happy about that.
All right, Greta. So I'll see you next time.
Okay. So give you the thumbs up.
Keep working those machines.
Oh yeah. Let's take our first break here. And when we come back, I'd like to do a little scene with an actual map and stuff. Shocking. So we'll come back to that. So let's take 10 and we'll come back.
Okay.
Wait, where do I?
So there are several places that the students can go and hang out here on your one day sort of off that you have to work and to do extracurriculars, whatever. And somehow Wolfie has been dragged out to go with you on this. He's a little reluctant. But I want to take up with the four of you having a chance to talk about things, having a chance to talk about your extracurriculars at the Fire Jolt Cafe. This is a campus institution. It essentially is the big coffee house, coffee shop for this that is sort of outside of the school cafeteria and dining area and things. This is kind of its own institution. It runs to all hours of the night, and there are regular fixtures and things. On certain evenings, they have open poetry slams, and on certain evenings, they bards from the Bardic School come and play. Have you ever been in a place like this, Fen?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this place. And I'm going to say the Grove Wandered, right? It's where I grew up. So I think we've been to very large cities like Waterdeep, where you might find a large establishment like this. So visited, but not frequented, right? It was like a rare occasion.
So it's a big place. We're going to say this is kind of early morning, a little bit less populated than it might otherwise be. As you can see down south, there are like coffee bar kind of seating areas. Then there are tables like the one that you four are at. There are kind of raised platform private rooms, either separated by actual doors or on the right-hand side by curtains. And what do you drink, Talon? Are you tea? Is it coffee? Is it water? Is it something else? Like, what is your beverage of choice for the Owlin?
I think something that is closest to a ginger or ginger ale or a cider kind of thing.
Okay,
Something, yeah.
like that kind of fermented sweet ginger beer or something like that. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, kind of real crisp and spicy to it.
Yeah.
But clear.
Yes. Now I want one right now.
Yeah, I know. I
Mhm.
do. I love ginger beer so much. What does Wolfie drink?
Oh, it's got to be wine. Like he grew up drinking wine. It's part of the rites, and
Yeah.
so yeah, we just drink wine.
It's a little early in the day, but it's like the what now, I assume there's several varieties of wine that are on offer here. Are you getting like looking down the menu to find like the bottom and the cheapest wine, or are you a little more of a connoisseur than that?
Yeah, I think I'm a connoisseur, and I end up coming off like real snobby without really meaning to, probably, and maybe ordering like, do you have this? Do you have this? And they're like, where do you think you're at? Like, this is the Fire Jewel Cafe.
Yeah. In the end, you're just like, just bring me a Beaujolais, and you're like, oh, okay. What about you, Fonzie? What is your drink of choice?
Fonzie orders one of those just obnoxiously complicated milkshakes that passes for coffee.
Okay.
And just it's very much like a custom drink that they're very, very specific on. And I think orders it in part to mess with the baristas. And then when the order is called out over to, I can see Mina is there, and I checked in the logs that Mina works at the cafe.
Yeah.
The moment that I realized that she has to prepare my drink, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm such an asshole.
Yeah, she does like she's taken back behind. You can tell that she's taken this job to like pick up gossip and stuff. And she gets called back by Alina Tanglewood behind the counter, and Alina like points her to a recipe, and clearly they've gone through the stuff, and there are at least two disasters before she prepares something that's sort of like what you ordered. And you can tell that she is like seriously chagrined, because everybody can see her do this. And she'll come over, and she's like, when she realizes it's you, what is her reaction? Is she more embarrassed? Is she angry? What do you think?
I think that she's angry.
Okay. Here is your coffee, Master Fonzie.
This is the best one of whatever it is that I ordered that I've ever had.
Down. See, it's one of those coffees with both foam, but it's also, because it's a magic place, it's got like different levels of layers that have to be separated by different things, and you can see them even as she puts it down, they're starting to bleed into one another and lose its structural integrity.
This is delicious.
If you need anything else, I will be over at the counter.
Oh, just one thought. So I've been trying to dig up a little bit of dirt. I have a feeling that there might be something going on between Brocco Leather Pound and Ignis Dark Glass. So maybe we can look into that, like when you're off.
Let's have you make a roll to try and smooth over the issues and maybe build up your relationship by throwing out this piece of information, a hot lead, as it were.
Yeah. Would you say persuasion, or I would say it's persuasion over investigation in this
Yeah,
case.
this is definitely persuasion. You are trying to be charming. You are trying to be pleasant. And that's not bad.
22. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, no, it's a 14.
14. she's like, you see her nod. That's clearly, she scribbles down a note on her order pad and kind of heads out.
Helen,
Fen?
can I borrow money for a good tip?
Fen, what do you drink?
So Fen is at the bar and he says, "Excuse me, bartender, what is that on the
Barista.
menu?" Sorry,
Barista.
barista. My apologies, sincerely. What is bog water? What is that?
It's a distillate of a number of things.
And when it says twigs optional, I'll take it with the twigs.
Okay, absolutely. And you can see her go over and pour some things in a cup, and she kind of picks up the like drain trays from some things, and she'll pour that into the mug. And then she goes and gets some seeds, and then she goes and opens up a thing and brings out some chilled twigs, and she'll put that in there. What consistency is this?
Well, first off, this is so much fancier than any drink I had. Look at this. The twigs are chilled. I think it's like a orange Julius that sat out for a half an hour.
Oh God.
What is an orange Julius?
Orange Julius was a institution at the mall,
Yeah.
and they would make these horrible like ice and orange like slushy things
and pounds of sugar.
and
I'm
pounds
sure
of
there were-
sugar. It was
Yeah.
essentially just stickiness incarnate.
Mhm.
If it spilled, you would, yeah.
Was the idea of a smoothie like before smoothies became very popular?
Mhm.
So it's like a slurry.
I think
Orange drink.
slurry is the right
Slurry
really
is the
right
right
word
word.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, we had orange Julius here actually, but I think I was like 5 when that existed.
Okay.
And,
I don't even
and
know
so
what that is.
to Wolfie, I'm like, look at these twigs. They're frosted. They're so cold. It's amazing.
You can actually see a droplet, and we get a close up of like a very artistic looking like set of twigs, but it's just twigs.
So you'll relax, chat, kind of enjoy that conversation with one another, and I think at some point during this, Fen, Greta comes across the floor of the cafe and comes over to where you're at, and she's like, Fen.
Oh, Greta, come on up. Grab a drink. We're just enjoying some downtime.
Oh, see this young
You
dwarven
gotta,
woman.
you gotta try the bog water. It's amazing.
Oh, that's not bog water, is it? Because that looks disgusting.
Oh, it's what?
That
No,
thing
it's
with the
delicious.
the sticks in it.
Look, they're frosted even.
Anyway, so are you and your friends doing anything right now?
I mean,
Good.
what's going on?
So I'm over there with Grayson and some of the other first years, and they found some magic frogs, and we're doing some frog races. Anybody want to get in on some frog racing action?
Grayson, I hate that guy.
Oh, but
We have
frog
to.
races, come on.
No, we're doing it.
Oh,
We're doing
yes.
it because we need to put Mr. Grayson Wildermere in his place.
Excellent.
Talon, how
Bring
do
your
you
own
feel?
frog, or they've
Oh.
got frogs.
Oh no, they got these frogs. You go over, kind of like we need a couple more people, and it'll get you set up with frogs if you want to like coach a frog, or you can help out with a frog team.
Great, let's go.
Okay. Are you in Talon? Yeah, all
Talon
right.
goes like, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
And Wolfie?
Out of character, does Wolfie know what frog racing is?
I somewhat doubt that Wolfie knows.
Okay. I think that he assumes that is gambling of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for research purposes, since we now have so many gamblers and pirate types coming into the faith, I think this would probably be a good idea. He's probably like 3 or 4 wines in by this point. Also, yeah,
absolutely. So they kind of go to that back room on the map. That's that F5 area.
I leave my coffee behind. It's atrocious.
Oh, okay. There'll be
There's
that
like
moment when
there's
we
just
see
a
Mina
sip that I
go
took
over.
as a courtesy.
Yeah, and see that like maybe just a half centimeter has been drunk from it.
I'm chewing on a twig on the way over.
And you see Grayson. There are a couple of other first-year students and people there. They're kind of standing around talking when you come over, and Grayson's like, if it isn't the scion of the school, Mr. Alphonse.
Take a deep bow. And Graybeard? Was it?
Grayson.
Hey, what's up?
He says, which of you wishes to pilot a frog to victory?
I'll step forward.
I'm talking to the frogs right now. I want to try and get some intel from them. I've got a spell called Speak with Animals.
Okay. Let's there's no casting roll for that. But let's have you make an animal handling roll just to like see what kind of you can get out of
intel
this.
I can get.
Yeah.
I've got some 3D dice on the board. Oh, over here, 13. Not bad.
Not bad. So there are these frogs. They're small, but striking, and they each have a kind of almost phosphorescent, sort of different glowing color on the back. You're not sure if that's natural or if a student's put a spell on them. But it's that kind of conversation where they're clearly weirded out by this whole thing.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's going on? Why are we here? Why are we getting handled? Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this isn't a normal thing that you do? This is new
what's
for
going
you?
on? Why do you got picked up and we got brought here? Not understanding what's going on.
You're gonna be in a race. It's gonna be really fun.
Okay. Are we gonna get fed at the end?
Oh yeah. No, whoever wins, who's gonna win? Which one of you is the fastest?
What color phosphorescent frog seems to be the ace in the hole here, Fen? What color?
It's that neon green right
neon
there.
Green. Yeah. That seems to be general thing. And you kind of chirping, talking with the frogs there. And Grayson is like, are you talking to the frogs?
Yes.
That seems a little unsporting.
They don't even know why they're here.
They're frogs.
Have they done this before? Do
No.
you train them?
No.
Oh.
But this is fine. This is fine. Which frog did you want?
The green one right there. One with the green phosphorescent stripes.
I'll hand you that. And you, I've forgotten your name, Owlin. Talon?
Talon, sir.
What color frog do you wish?
Do we have the colors available, or
No, you can choose whatever color. We're kind of making this up.
I'll go for the red frog with the black stripe.
Ooh. Red frog, black stripe. And you, oh, I'm a little surprised to see you, Master Wolfie.
I think Wolfie will look down and like kick a rock or something, or like mumble something about research.
I see. I see. Did you want a frog?
I mean, I don't know, frog races. You
Uh,
got to pick a frog, with the frog races.
And which frog are you picking?
I think the frog that Wolfie picks is like this green and black frog.
Mhm.
But the frog, like the black sort of like ends here, kind of like an upside down V, and he looks like he's wearing like a little leather jacket.
Okay. And of the frogs that are left, Fonzie, what color is the one that you pick?
I think that, yeah, I've had like all this indecision, trying to think of which frog looks the most able-bodied, and just frog after frog is getting picked. And finally, I'm going to go for one, and Grayson picks it out as his own frog right before I can get to it. And there's just this one poor, sickly gray frog with like purple polka dot warts on it. It's probably a toad, to be fair. That one.
That one. So they have a table, a little course has been set up for the frogs. It's clear that nobody here has ever done this before. This seems like a little odd, but they're playing the game. So this is since you're all coaching frogs, this is an animal handling check.
Oh boy.
I would like to cheat.
Okay, and how do you plan to cheat?
I plan to cheat by casting Unseen Servant and having my Unseen Servant pick up the frog
Can it help with the
and hop it
hopping?
across the path.
So I think that will allow you to roll your animal handling with advantage. Fen, you've already spoken to the frog, so you may also roll your animal handling with advantage. Talon, are you playing this straight? And what about you, Wolfie? Are you cheating?
No, I think Wolfie is like projecting all the stuff that he's not supposed to be doing, like the LARPing, the drinking wine early. Now he's like gambling and frog racing, and I think he's like pep talking his frog and telling him like he needs to turn and find something other than frog racing. Like this is not proper for a frog. He's just projecting onto this animal.
Yeah. If the frog understood, you'd be rolling with disadvantage, but it doesn't. So
wait till Wolfie's parents find out that he's descended into a life of sin.
I cannot wait until his parents show up.
So Fen and Fonzie, if you want to use one of their spells, let's have everybody roll animal handling here. Oh, a 12 for Fonzie. A 17 for Fen. A 14 for Talon. For Wolfie. A 2 for Talon. Let me also roll for our two of our NPCs here. Let me pull up Greta. It's gonna let me roll that. So she's going to be rolling just a flat d20. Which is a 16.
So close.
16. Once again, she is second to you, Fen.
Actually, I have a 2 bonus on animal handling. Sorry about that. So
okay.
My total was also 16.
Also 16.
Yes, sir.
And then let's see if Grayson has any big bonus to his animal handling here. This is not his forte. That is 2. Okay. So Talon, what goes wrong? We've got this frog course that's set up with these different little ups and downs, and someone has gone to some trouble to kind of build little ramps and obstacles and around. What goes wrong? Because you are an absolute dead last here.
I think I think so. What happens if we just drop? They just drop their frog, and the frog
Everybody
just
puts their
goes
frog
through-
out, and then you have to cheer your frog on, try to
Yeah,
get it to go.
yeah. So what happens is the frog just keeps taking breaks throughout the course, just like hopping along. Maybe sometimes it looks fast, giving Talon like a sense of false hope that maybe you'll be able to catch up. But then every once in a while, it just stops there, sits dumbfounded, and starts like going, just chewing its lip and doing nothing, and almost defiant in its desire to stay still at moments, and eventually just sort of like, I mean, I don't mean to like anthropomorphize
No.
the frogs too much, but they're
Yeah.
just kind of like keep going until like he's dead last.
Fonzie, can I have you make a sleight of hand roll?
Pretty good sleight of hand roll.
Oh yeah, I think there is that bit where Grayson is watching you, and he knows that you're cheating, but he doesn't know how you're doing it.
I think at some point, the unseen servant does bump into somebody.
And Grayson is watching. So it's a tight neck and neck race there at the end between Wolfie and Greta and Fen, and kind of pushing along, going back and forth there. Greta is yelling, "What's your strategy for boosting for cheering on your frog there, Wolfie?"
I think he's like, my frog has this thing where like everyone took off, and then he just sort of like stood there, and then like right as like the race looked like it was about to end, like he just takes off and ends up catching up. So it's one of those things like in Monsters Inc. when like Sully thinks Boo is gonna die, and he's like looking, but he can't stop looking. But he
Right.
looks, and then he faints, and then he comes back, and he's looking again, not looking. Like it's one of those.
And Fen, how is it that you get that edge to win the 30 gold pieces that are at stake?
Whoa.
Yeah, so everyone's shouting out, right?
Yeah.
Go, go, go. My frog can actually understand what I'm saying, which is a definite advantage. And so it's like, you're gonna hit something, duck, swerve left, swerve right. And he starts like not really realizing, oh, if he does what I say, he doesn't whack into things. And so it like becomes this mutually beneficial relationship between me and my new familiar.
Yeah. Okay. There will be this victory crosses over the line there. Grayson looks annoyed. You see, he's maybe suspecting now that that there's some chicanery going on between you and Fonzie. But he will. There are various cheerings. People are pleased. It is entertaining, and you will get like a 30 gold piece pot there. The sort of judge person who is holding on to it will call everybody out so he can count out the winnings for, for who bet on who and second place and stuff, while Grayson kind of gathers up the frogs, since he's apparently kind of set this up.
I didn't win, but at least I beat Grayson.
That is very true.
And I would like to ask my frog afterwards. So, what did you think of the race? Do you like these frog races?
He will. The frog kind of starts to answer you, but then stops. And I'm going to tell you what happens next. Let me move Fen over here, sort of inside, talking to the frogs, and Grayson there, and the others outside. And now I need to get to a different layer. Let's see. Get these guys on the table here. And one more. So, getting used to the tools, getting used to the tools. So, Fen, you're close by the table as the others are out there. Money is being exchanged. You're there. Grayson is kind of picking things up. And I think you're the one who's most in tune with nature. And you get this very bad feeling. And for a brief moment, there's like a roil of oily smoke. And then and you will see where those 7 frogs were. They have changed appearance. They have a much more demonic demeanor to them and have grown up until they are a couple of feet long. And they begin to swat and attack everyone.
Does this include my new best friend?
It does.
Oh my goodness.
Frogger Hoppenheimer.
So I would like.
You just gave him half your gold.
I mean, I'm the custody. I'm in custody of the gold and will spend it on whatever he wants, but he needs to not be violent first.
So we are going to have everyone roll an initiative. I'm going to add you. Let me get the little initiative tracker up here. Okay, if I do this again, come on. Let me get on the right level. Okay, add turn. Thank you. Add turn. Add turn. Add turn. Add turn. And then the frogs will add their turn.
I assume that they are now monstrous and not animals. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
You could tell that someone has done chicanery that you are not happy with. So if everybody could roll your initiative and then tell me what you got.
I got a 21 on my
21. At 6 for Wolfie.
6 for Wolfie.
13 for Fen, and Talon. Oh, Talon, you are going last in this round.
Oh no.
So let me do that. And we'll roll that d20 for the frogs.
Oh,
Oh my.
someone is going first.
Well, they have no initiative bonus. So this
Oh,
breaks
yeah.
out, and they like tankers go flying, tables are crashing down. Grayson, you and Fen are kind of pushed back against that wall, and there, people are shouting as this happens. What do you do, Fonzie?
First, I try to think back on any biology classes to see if I recall anything that is poisonous to frogs that might be available behind the counter.
Okay, that seems like an animal handling roll.
Okay,
Don't poison my frog, please.
yeah. I was hoping that might be a nature roll since I do have proficiency in nature.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's fair as well.
Okay.
Uh,
So that's a 15.
15. I think you do know that there are some salted drinks and things like that, and maybe you can use salt, as an attack or as a repellent. That's there that it reacts with like certain kinds of acidic venoms and things. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
So being Fonzie, I shout over to Mina. I say, Mina, quick, make me a salted margarita. I'm like, wait, no time. And I just reach over the counter to
Okay.
grab salt to throw.
So you're gonna kind of move over to the area and grab yourself some salt from there.
Mm.
Like hop over. So yeah. So I think that's not a problem for you. Get it, and you can use that for advantage on an attack or doing something there. The frogs will begin to kind of spread out in all different directions. Couldn't get to the mute, so I had to hold that sneeze in. So here we go.
Oof.
Sneeze again. So tell me let's start with you, Fen. What is your armor class?
AC 10.
AC 10. Let me get up the
Is this
stats.
is this the edition where lower is better or higher is better?
Higher is
Higher is
better.
better, yeah.
Oh, thank God. Because I'd be screwed.
And 10's not great, I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah.
we're wizards. What do you expect?
Get the creatures up. Close this named NPCs thing. Where is this giant frog? All right. So the giant frog makes an attack with a +3 here to bite you.
That's my new best friend, too.
It is. It looks maddened by the transformation.
Did not like racing, apparently.
So 1d20 +3. So that
Hits.
hits. So you're going to take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Let's roll on Grayson. Grayson is also hit and knocked back by his frog. Wolfie, what is your armor class?
Armor class is 18.
18. So that frog will leap and attempt to get at you, but you will miss through armor and probably a little bit of combination of skill there, evading that.
He has a lot of older brothers. There's been a lot of dodging in his life.
What about you, Talon? What is your AC?
15.
15. Will hit you for 4 points.
Damn.
You are rolling high right now.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. And Fonzie, what is your AC?
The 13.
That will miss on you. And Greta is also struck by the frog that is on her. And Mina has come around the corner, like when you've shouted for her. And the frog can't quite get to her, but it certainly is making its way towards her.
Damage was 4 again. Is that
4
what it is?
points.
4 points. All right.
Fen Oakenshade, what do you do?
I want to protect the frogs. I want to befriend these monsters.
Do you have a spell for that? Do you want to try an animal handling roll to try and?
They're not animals anymore. That's
Yeah.
the only problem with that. Let's look at the spells real quick.
How does like knocking them unconscious work?
So I always allow attacks unless it clearly has to be lethal. You can just declare that the attack is non-lethal.
Okay, here's what I want to do.
Okay.
It's a two-step process. I do want to do that animal handling to try and calm this beast, the frog that I know is my best friend.
Okay.
And then I want to cast Beast Bond. So it's going to take a while, and there's
Okay.
going to be a lot of things happening around me while I focus on this. But right now it's just animal handling to try and calm it down. Hey, you don't have to be aggressive. We're all friends here.
So let's have you roll your animal handling roll.
That's not the best roll I've had
Not
this
the best
evening.
roll, but not the worst. Let's roll. So let's do this off of wisdom. So the frog just looks more enraged when you're talking to it. Like you can see something of the frog that you just had, but it's kind of wild right now.
Yeah. I think that's all I get to do at this time.
Okay. Then we come to Wolfgang.
Fonzie is a warlock, right? Talon is what's your class? Wizard? Sorry, buddy, you're on mute.
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer. Fen is a druid.
Druid.
Okay. I think I want to try and cast a spell. Since I see Fen casting a spell and trying to calm down his frog.
Okay.
I also want to calm down my leather jacket frog.
Okay.
When he transformed, can he have an actual leather jacket on?
Well, not an actual leather jacket, but I think it's certainly the texture of it is more rough and
More
hewn,
pronounced.
so it looks a little armory. So it probably looks more like a leather jacket than it did before.
Awesome.
The impression of a leather jacket.
Indeed. Okay, so I think I get a spell here where I can. Okay, what is a bonus action in D&D? That feels silly. Like I should know that, but I don't.
So a bonus action is an action you can do in addition to a standard action.
I see. Okay. I would like to cast Shield of Faith on
Okay, so
Fen.
that's essentially a quick action you can do, and then you can do a standard action.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Shield of Faith, and what does that do?
A shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus AC.
Who are you giving +2 AC to?
I'm gonna do it to Fen because I think he and I want the same thing.
Okay. So Fen, what does that look like, Cisco, when you cast that?
I think a literal light comes down from above.
Okay.
And like it and like shimmers off of Fen, and he is highly favored at the moment.
Awesome. Let us come to Talon. Talon, what do you want to do?
I just want to ask, did Fonzie take his turn?
He went first, and he has grabbed up salt.
Strange. I think so. The frogs, they're the frogmen. They're like, are they pack? Like, are they saying anything? Are they
No,
verbal?
so imagine that you have these tiny frogs, and they've almost kind of transformed and ballooned up to a couple of feet long. Skin has gotten kind of leathery, different colors to them, and definitely a feeling like this is an enchantment or a spell or some sort of transformation that has occurred in this.
Yeah, I think because of the extreme like suddenness of the situation, Talon like just acts on instinct and steps away and proceeds to like draw a weapon and like attack.
All right. So go ahead and make your to hit roll. You need to need to get a 12 or better.
All right. He just uses the light crossbow. Let's see what that does. Did it work? It is a 19. Is that 19?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Absolutely. Okay. So you'll hit for 7 points of damage. We'll assume that you have bolts that are wrapped because you're on school grounds right now. That you can use, and you'll hit it, and that does a significant hit to this frog, who will kind of reel back from that shot you put into it.
Yeah. I'd say it's the one that was next to Wolfie, if that makes sense.
Giant frog F. Okay. So 7 plus another 2 is 9. So 9. So at the end of the round, you will note, Fen, since you're kind of a druid, you will note a little bit of like roiling black smoke still on these frogs, and they seem to get a little smaller, but they're still these rampaging giant frogs. Fonzie, what do you want to do? You still got all these frogs on the field. What's your goal?
Okay, well, my goal, my most immediate goal, it looks like one is coming after Mina, or she's getting into the fray.
There is one that is chasing after Mina, and there's one that has followed you.
Okay. To take the risk and avoid the one that's following me, which I know might provoke an attack of opportunity, but that's fine because I've disappointed my journalism partner. I need to make up for that by saving them.
Okay.
Which she probably doesn't need, but I'm going to try to get in there to take care of that. So just taking like a big handful of salt, I'm just going to chuck it at that frog and hope for the best. Does this count as an attack with any proficiency, or is it just a straight?
So what is your typical like weapon that you use?
Typical weapon, I have a light crossbow, or dagger throwing is another thing I'm a fan of.
Okay. Do you want to essentially use one of those with some salt application to it?
Sure. I'll toss a dagger.
So you will attack with advantage.
Okay. So that's an 18.
So that will definitely hit and draw the attention of the frog there
Got
as you strike it. 12. And it kind of turns to you and you realize you're kind of now between two frogs.
I'll move. There.
Let's have.
Oh, I was hoping it was gonna shrivel up or something. Sorry.
Let's see here. I think the barista, Alina, will come running over there. And I think that she has a staff, and she will let loose with a bolt, and not quite dispatch the one that you hit, but will at least draw its attention, has control over it. So you've only got one on you. Let's do Greta here. So Greta attempts to, get there and like grapple the frog. And instead, she kind of like is right there for it to do the swallow attack on its action. So let's go to the frogs. Your AC now is a 12, Fen?
Yep.
Okay. Your pal misses. Fonzie, what is your AC?
13.
13. I'm going to roll 2 dice because it has to come over the counter to get you, so it has disadvantage right now. However, it will hit
Good roll.
for 4 points.
That is an amazing disadvantage roll.
That
Yeah.
is. I did have the last game I ran. I had somebody roll with disadvantage and get double 20s.
Wow.
So this roller is wild. Wolfgang, your AC is 18, right?
Indeed.
Okay. So we'll just hit you for 4. And Talon, yours is 18.
For the AC, it's I believe it's 15, unless there's a
15.
reason.
Okay. And the frog will miss on you.
Whew.
And the frog attempts to swallow your dwarven friend, but they are like there's like the like holding the mouth open, trying to keep it. The tongue is out, trying to drag her in.
Where is that? Is that right near me, or is that a distance away?
You can see it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll ping
Okay,
it.
there she is. Yeah.
And let's
Man.
roll. And Grayson and the frog are kind of exchanging things. But you will notice that Grayson has a sword, and he doesn't look like he's at all holding back Fed from swinging at these frogs. Do you say anything?
No, I've got my corner to worry about at this time.
Okay.
He has to
is,
do what he has to do.
It is your action.
I think that me and the frog with the green streak have devolved into basically like a boxing match, basically.
Okay.
And like I blocked one, and I'm gonna go for an uppercut, right?
Okay.
But it's gonna be a chill touch uppercut. So I'm
Ooh.
gonna cast chill touch and see what happens. And it's kind of like didn't want it to come to this, but
Yeah.
but this is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me.
So that's a heck of a hit there.
Yeah.
So you're doing 7 points.
Yep.
Okay. Plus,
And I think
Okay.
with chill touch, there might be some cold effect as well. Let me read on that real quick.
sure.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. Info. Oh, so it actually creates a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range, making a ranged spell attack against a creature. I thought that it was a touch attack.
I think that makes sense, though. I think you can a step. These things can't control their zone particularly easily.
Okay, so I guess like a ghostly specter of my uppercut remains clinging to the target. It's not undead. I think that's it.
Okay, so it doesn't have to make a save against any effect or anything.
If it was undead, it also has disadvantage on things, but it's
Okay.
not. So I think that's it.
Okay. Wolfie.
Okay.
Oh, the one thing is
Oh.
it can't regain hit points until the beginning of my next turn, but I'll keep an eye open for that.
Okay. You and it does look like actually they are kind of getting smaller and losing a little bit of health each turn. Fonzie. Not Fonzie, Wolfie. Get two with the E at the end of the name. So what do you want to do? You've protected Fen. Actually, your shield is kind of what saved him from being hit this last time.
Sweet. So I see that there's a frog real close to me. Like if I cast a spell, yeah, I've got like I'm a little bit surrounded. Like if I cast a spell, is that going to trigger an attack of opportunity?
If these things were bigger and more serious, they would have like control over the zone, but they're only like it's essentially it's a big froggy dog that's attacking you.
Gotcha. They're not like bipedal and like
No,
boxing
they're
back.
they've just been like somebody has done something to enhance these frogs to make them grow several times and then boom.
Okay. I want to cast detect magic to see, like, clearly they're magical, but like maybe there's an artifact or someone casting a spell that's causing this. Is that a thing?
So I think you can tell that somebody has like I think without detect magic, I think you know that somebody has put a kind of a curse or a trap on these things.
Okay, but there's no way to like be able to track where it's coming from, or
that you'd have to do that outside of combat, I think.
I gotcha. Okay. In that case, I will sorry, that was my plan A, and I didn't have a plan B. Who's looking the worst for wear right now?
Alphonse, how much are you down?
I'm down 4.
Okay. Talon, how much are you down?
I'm only down by 4 hit points.
Okay. And Fen, you've only gotten hit once, right?
Yeah, and I'm a bit of a buff wizard, so I'm in the double digits. I don't feel like I know how to cure, so I don't feel like I am in urgent need.
It's definitely your choice of Fonzie, who's right by you. Talon, who's right by you, or Fonzie, who's a little further away.
Okay.
Who do you like more?
Well, my dear mom told me to take care of Fonzie. So I think that we are going to, I think after looking at Fen and he and I trying to like plan this save the frogs kind of thing, I see that Fonzie's taking some hits and I'm like, Oh, my mom's gonna kill me. So I am gonna cast Healing Word on Fonzie.
Okay.
Yeah, how would you ever tell your mother, I'm sorry, Fonzie was killed by a frog?
We were racing them in a gambling den, and then
I'm gonna be honest with you, Vince. That's what's worrying my character more. Is gonna have to explain the entire situation. So yeah, do I just
Okay.
roll a d20
you
and
sh-
add?
I think I think if you on the spell, you should be able to like click to activate the spell.
Okay. I put a thing on there.
Okay, so healing word, one bonus action. So you still get a standard action. So what's your spellcasting ability modifier? Are you a charisma character or
No, I'm a
wisdom
wisdom
character?
based character.
Okay, so what is your wisdom bonus?
Wisdom modifier is 2.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a d4 plus 2.
D4 plus 2. Okay.
Okay, so Fonzie, you will get back 4 hit points. Talon, end of the round here. What do you do?
I think I look to all the frog dogs, frog hogs, scattered around, and in an act of like desperation, fires off a magic missile.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hopefully hitting 3 different frogs. One more next to Wolfie. Once against the frog next to Wolfie. Once against the frog next to Fen, and the other one that's next to this dude who's next to Fen.
Okay. Grayson, or the dwarf woman who's next to you.
I'm not sure. Wait, I see Fen Oakenshade, and I see this face that's like
That's Grayson Wildemere. And then
yeah, the one
down here is next to you is the little dwarf warrior.
Who's
Meg.
currently like in the jaws of a frog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah, she definitely needs more help than Grayson does.
Yeah.
all right.
Grayson can take care of himself.
All right, let's do that. Let's so it's the one next to Fen, the one next to dwarf lady, and the one next to Wolfie.
Okay. We pop up the tell me what the mechanics are on that.
Well, it's magic missile, so you create 3 glowing darts of magical force. Each dart hits a creature of your choice that you can see within range, and each one deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage to its target.
Okay.
They all strike simultaneously, and you can direct them to hit one creature or several.
Excellent. So let's have you roll the damage for the one on Wolfie. Right?
All right. 1d. Oh, it seems like I rolled it already.
Oh yeah, you're right. It did roll that. So you'll do 4 to this one. The one that is on Wolfie looks like it is in very bad shape. And then are you okay with me just applying that 4 to all 3?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I
I
believe
one on Fen looks like it's in very bad shape. And the one on the gnome is actually 18 minus 4 is a 14 on that right now. So what do your magic missiles look like?
I think they look they look like marbles, like really like that have they're flying marbles, but they have like these spirally like auras that are swirling around them, so they sort of create a little swirly effect.
So you do your casting, and there'll be that shoot as they shoot off and hit and impact significantly. Like you hit them as hard as they have hit you. So there is that sound. Let's bring it back to the top of the round with Fonzie.
Satisfying thunk.
All right, so how badly hurt does that frog that I attacked last turn look? Pretty badly hurt?
It is right now, it has definitely more than half,
Okay,
or about, or maybe about half, actually.
okay. So I think that Fonzie closes his eyes for just a moment, puts out his hand, and casts Eldritch Blast. And the verbal component of it, somewhat embarrassingly, is that every time he casts it, he has to say,
Oops.
kaboom!
And with that roll that you got there, you will KO that frog that is beside you. So we can move them
Sorry,
off.
it only works if I say that.
And Alina will step up and take it seriously. And she's an adult wizard. So let's see what she can do. That will hit. And she will do. She will drop that frog. But the frogs still go. A couple of frogs knocked down. This weakened frog attempts to strike at you, Fen. And will hit
Okay.
for 4. It gets its like second wind, comes at you. Essentially, again, that sort of biting and lashing of the tongue. You're too big for it to do any kind of swallow attack on, but it is definitely trying to find purchase and gnaw at you. And then let's do that. You can see that Grayson and this other giant frog are like pushing back, like they're seriously hitting each other right now. And then let's roll for and Greta and her frog are locked up in ineffectual combat with one another. But this one versus Talon will miss with a 10. And the one that's by you, that's on its last legs, Wolfie, will swing and will miss with a 15. The frogs, they used to be dynamite, but that is not what they are now. A Fen Oakenshade.
Yeah. Tell me about this frog that is in front of me. Is it frog sized again, or because they've
It's a
been
little
shrinking?
bit smaller.
Smaller than
it's
frog sized.
I mean, it's smaller than it was before, is what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's maybe lost a couple of inches, almost like this spell is kind of, as it's dissipating, it's shrinking a little bit.
And it's still not friendly, and I don't have a charm spell. Dang it. I think I have to chill punch it again.
Okay. And I think that, like, you hesitate, right?
I do.
You do,
I'm
like,
are you done yet? I don't want to have to do this to you. You really should stop biting.
Let's have you roll that attack.
It's not great.
That is a 9. Its AC is a 12. So like, what happens? Like does it jump out of the way? Is your shot wide? Did you hesitate too long? Like, what caused the miss?
I mean, this frog has hit its second wind, right?
Yeah.
And so here I am, slow and hesitant, and it just flies right past my too slow punch that I'm doing.
Yeah,
It's almost like I threw the punch, right? Like
yeah,
I wanted to show resistance, but I didn't actually want to hit the frog.
that seems fair, and it is still just barely up. Wolfie,
You're muted.
Thank you. Oh man, I think once I see that that Fen is holding back, I think that Wolfie is legitimately scared that like if Fen like doesn't go hard, then we might be in real trouble. So
yeah.
I think he's gonna try to inflict some wounds on the frog that Fen is fighting. Do I have like line of sight? Can I do that?
I think you could easily take a simple step
Okay,
to kind of get yourself close by the low wall there.
5 foot
And
step.
okay.
Okay.
So let's have you roll.
It says make a melee spell attack against a creature. So I'm rolling a d20.
Oh, is it a melee spell attack?
It says melee.
So
Yeah.
you will actually have to move over to the frog.
Okay. But
Which
that
I
won't
think-
trigger an attack of opportunity, right?
No, we've established that. So I think you
That's
can
right.
move over
Okay.
to here. That's 1, 2, 3 squares. So yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
But you're. Oh, I just pulled Talon. Sorry. Wolfie over there. Leaving Talon and the dwarf woman.
For now.
And
For
I'm
now.
like, Wolfie, I got this. Don't worry.
All right, Wolfie, make your melee spell attack.
I think I'll be like, don't hurt my friend. And since I have to like touch this thing, I'll like kind of like jump on it a little bit.
Okay.
All right. And my hands are now glowing with the wrath of Essen. Let's see. Let's roll the thing. And then since it's a melee attack, what am I adding?
I think it's dexterity for this.
Okay. I believe it's a -1. So roll a 10.
Roll a 10. So that will miss on an AC of 12.
Oh man.
So what happens? Like,
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Wolfie, is that an attack that you are proficient with?
I don't think so. How would I know that?
Oh, actually, yeah, I think because it's a spell thing. I think you are proficient with that. So you get to add your proficiency bonus, which is your level there.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yes.
Or at least
So it's
level
a
right now.
13
Yeah,
instead.
right now it's a +2, right? The proficiency bonus is +2 for your levels. Okay. So that will hit.
Huzzah.
So what damage does that do?
It does 3d10 necrotic damage. That sounds really serious.
You're gonna
Okay.
kill my best friend.
Please roll.
Well, we've
3.
established that we're trying to knock these things out.
This is a spell. That's a very different thing.
Oh no! What have I done?
Just roll it.
Oh no! I didn't think it'd be this serious. It's a 13 altogether.
So
Oh.
what does this big, horrible, necrotic spell look like when you cast it and kill this frog?
Oh no! What have I done? I think my hands start like kind of like glowing black. And as I like jump on this frog, I think it just sort of like sizzles into
And-
like a black puddle of ooze.
There is that moment when you do it and it clearly passes the threshold and it turns back to that tiny frog, and then there's a
Oh no! What have I done?
yeah, right in front of Fen.
And I'm just looking at you in shock.
I think Wolfie's sitting there with the frog ashes in front of him in shock as well.
Talon.
Just put this. So when I see this horrifying,
Yeah.
like does the rest of the scene, the rest of the room react to what happens? Like,
I think everybody's still concentrating on these other frogs that are around attacking people. Students are unsure what's going on. This has all happened in a matter of a few turns.
yeah, so it's like 20 seconds at best.
Yeah.
Whew, I think. Let's see. So, how is the dwarf lady now? Okay, right?
Let's say this. Neither the dwarf nor the frog are particularly good at what they're trying to do. I think this in fact is Fonzie's sort of sickly gray frog that has grown up, and it is not nearly as imposing and demony as the other ones. And Greta's probably crying tears of frustration at this point.
Yeah. I think I'll just have to try to see everything I can think of that it is that isn't a basic attack. It's something that a fighter would do. like but Talon does not possess that physique, so he will just continue to unload another set of crossbow bolts, but this time at the frog next to, what's her name again?
That is Greta.
Greta. That's right. I'll unload to the next to Greta. Yeah.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Yep. Character sheet, core, and light crossbow. Did that work? Did something happen?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And 10 points. That will drop the frog. Essentially you hit it, and sort of the next bit, when it gets a little bit more shrunk, and it will turn into just a frog, that gray kind of sickly frog on the ground.
Is it kind of like a dead frog, or did it just revert to its normal form?
If you were doing non-lethal, which you established, it just turns into this frog that looks probably stunned and unconscious at this point.
Yeah. That frog's gonna wake up the next morning going, whoa, what happened?
But you'll see Greta kind of turns to you and like, I'll get that one that's on you, and leaps over to start fighting that one.
Okay.
Let's come to Fonzie.
Talon, it looks like you got this, right?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Okay, keep it up. Good work. And
Thanks.
I look over at Grayson, and before I close my eyes briefly to focus energy of the spell, this time I close my eyes and I keep them closed. So I'm voluntarily rolling with disadvantage.
Okay.
Targeting the frog that's attacking Grayson with another Eldritch Blast. I go, kaboom!
AC is 12.
Okay.
So
Well,
shockingly, you will still hit, though it probably just wings the frog, right? Kind of cuts past it, and Grayson goes, "Be careful where you're firing that thing."
I hit it. You're
Grateful at
welcome.
all. So giant frog. We've got this one over here. I think that given that it only has a point left, we can say that Alina will deal with that one there. Get that off the table. Let's see. Greta versus the frog. Greta finally gets the upper hand and will do some damage to that frog that's on you, Talon. And she seems overly pleased for the amount of damage that she did. And then giant frog on Grayson. And the giant frog drops Grayson. It hits him, and then he falls to the ground, and the frog begins to see how it can swallow him.
Oh no,
That's the
Grayson.
natural 20 there. Fen.
Shock.
Yeah.
Wolfie. And I fall to the ground and I would like to assess
Mm-hmm.
what is left of this frog. Is there skeletal remains within this pile of ash that Wolfie has created?
Let's roll a fate die here. I think there's some remains. It's going to require some time to piece it together, but there is some evidence left of your friend.
And I start scooping it up and saying, "This is a magical school. We know people who can help with this." And that's my turn.
Wolfie, what do you say to that? It's your action.
I think I will say I am so sorry. And just watch his 6 to make sure that no one is coming at him. But other than that, I'll just apologize and try to help with the remains.
And I say, "Look at this skull. Isn't it great?"
Talon, Fen and Wolfie are free, but they do not come to your assistance. Instead, it's you and Greta versus this frog.
Is this the last frog already? Let me see.
Well, there's one other frog, but it's eating another student.
We would like to not let students get eaten.
It looks like that's what's going to happen because Fen and Wolfie are just like, yeah, let that guy get eaten.
Depends on the student, I think.
Do you want to help him out? Do you want to put a shot?
I'm going
into
to, yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll to hit.
See. Sorry, I'm still getting used to
That's okay.
reaching for buttons. Did that work?
Yes, but it will miss.
Oh
with
man.
an 8. So it will go a little bit wide of Grayson there. Alphonse.
Well, can't have classmates getting eaten. I don't know that I can make it all the way over to him in this turn because I'm pretty far away.
Yeah.
So I think what I'll do is I'll fire off another like kaboom, and then I start to mosey over there. Yeah, take my regular 30-foot movement. So
Okay.
next
So
turn I'll get
that's 6 squares.
Yeah.
Let's have you roll that hit to hit.
Okay, yeah, let me do that first. 1 second. It's a 16 and 9 damage.
That will actually drop the frog.
Okay.
But Grace is unconscious and doesn't see you rescue him. Fen, you continue picking up the pieces here.
Yeah, and I'm telling Wolfie, "Look, now we have to go to Witherbloom. They're the ones who can deal with this."
At that moment, Wolfie didn't care for any of them, but now he definitely wants to go to Witherbloom.
Nice.
Has Fen secured what remains of?
I think
a
2
healthy
actions is enough to get those remains together.
Okay, so one student is quasi getting eaten.
No, right now it's just Greta and the frog. And she's got a little bit of the upper hand, but there's still it's the last giant frog there.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go help Greta if Fen has this.
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to just go up to the frog and whack it.
Okay.
Whack a frog. Do I roll it? So if I want to whack it with my warhammer, do I just roll d20, add my strength?
Yeah.
Okay.
And are you proficient with your warhammer with that?
I believe I am.
And
Jeez.
that's another +2.
Okay. Another +2 to that on top of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the proficiency bonus.
Excellent. Okay. So my strength is 1, so +3. Nope.
So that will miss there. So why do you go wide? Like is it that you've suddenly had to pull out this warhammer in this area, or is it you're upset about what you did?
Like the thing is like, you guys know like drunken fighting kung fu, right? So there is like a style of warhammer swinging where like you look like you can't really carry it and you just are sort of accidentally swinging. Except Wolfie has to do that, but like, cause legit, it's so heavy for him to lift. And so, you know, he's literally dragging this thing and trying to like lift it.
Yeah. Scratching the floor, brings it down. You probably shatter a table that's by there as you bring it down.
Only always.
Talon.
Do I have to dodge that hit?
No, he did not fumble.
So it is my turn. I forget. Wolfie. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think you've got the crossbow. Greta has it held. Like, how do you dispatch this thing? Is it another crossbow bolt, or do you do something more clever? Because I think you can do this. You've got this right now.
Yeah, I think what happens here is Talon is standing next to Greta, and I think Greta's is engaged with the frog like already. And so what he does is he takes the opportunity to use his dagger instead and just sort of like get him from behind while he's occupied. Now I know I don't deal backstab damage, but let me have this flavor.
Oh, absolutely. No, 100%. I think you get it. Greta's got a hold of it and you can smack it, and the last of sort of the energy that this thing has will and there'll just be this frog unconscious there on the floor.
Yeah.
And I think Fen, you're probably the person who sees come kind of around the counter, clearly come in. You will see the headmaster, Direlond, is there, and he looks and sees that a couple of you are injured, right?
Yeah, I was just about to cast Spare the Dying on.
I mean, some of us are bleeding, but does that really mean that we're injured?
Some of us have broken hearts.
Yes.
Some of us are injured.
Bleeding right here.
Direlond will say, you should all get to the physiker if you have been injured. He kind of walks around and he says to all of you, who brought the frogs?
Brought the frogs? They were here when we got here.
I think they're Grayson's frogs.
And he says, all right. And he gestures for some people to pick Grayson up and take Grayson to the infirmary. And he says, well done, all of you, for protecting your fellow students. What is that you're carrying, Master Fenn?
This is my familiar.
Your familiar appears to be a pile of bones and ash.
I know. Witherbloom's going to help, though. I know they can.
Take your familiar to the physiker, and I will send word along for them to assist with that.
Okay.
I think when he says that, like, Wolfie breathes like the biggest sigh of relief ever.
And he will kind of guide all of you out, kind of clearly assessing what's happening here. And he says,
Is he
I'm
like pushing us
glad.
away?
He's kind of moving you along. He says, I'm glad that all of you are all right.
Whoa, was this a test? Yeah, I don't understand what happened. Was this a
No,
test?
I
Did we
think I'm
pass?
beginning to understand how it is Strixhaven has a 25% graduation rate, but you never meet anybody who dropped out.
That is a myth. That is a myth, a spurious rumor spread by people who do not appreciate the school. I don't know what happened here. I have no idea. But believe me, I will look into this and I will punish those responsible.
Master, will you be calling my parents? Please don't summon my parents.
Why would I call your parents?
Yeah. 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 Why would you call my parents?
Did you, any steps forward, did you do something that requires punishment? Is that why you're asking me to call your parents?
Oh, yeah, I think Wolfie's gonna fold. He's gonna tell him that he was gambling. He's gonna tell him that he was LARPing and that he enjoyed himself and that he drank, wine at 11 a.m. Even though he'd done it before, he didn't think it was a good idea, but he did it anyway.
It's just talent.
You will visit the campus counselor and provost to have a little talk with them, a little session.
Not the merits. I think Wolfie will exit like just pale, completely pale.
And Direlond will turn to you as you all kind of head out. He says, well, I hope this isn't the beginning of anything. Bad things often come in threes.
Good thing there's
Well,
four of us, right?
That's ominous.
Good thing that there are four of you as it is right now.
Guys, we have to stick together.
And I think you all can head out. And that is where we're going to stop this week. This is a milestone point. You may level yourself up to level 3, which means that for XP, you'll put, oh gosh, now I have to look the XP table up. Unless you know it off the top of your head, Nicholas.
I don't. There's just like this cool button that you push that levels you up.
Oh, okay.
And I don't
900.
remember where it is.
But you have to put in the right amount of experience points first, don't you?
No, there was just a button for that. Where
okay.
was that? I'll see if I can find it.
It's 900 on page 15.
So under your character sheet, you see core bio spells and then a little cog. If you hit that cog, there is a lower right-hand corner, launch. Oh, maybe not. Launch level plus. Yeah, launch level plus, I think, is the auto level up without having to know numbers.
And you don't have to do that right now. You can do that next time, but we'll do that level up. Next time, we'll get some more NPC reactions. We'll do a little stuff, and we'll introduce some of the mysteries that are getting hinted at here.
That's so subtly
Yeah, so subtly hinted at.
hinted.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that for next time. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes, things that you particularly liked, and wishes for things that you want to see going forward as we go into the sort of second half of this. Now that we kind of got the characters established. Nicholas, can I start with you?
Yeah. I liked all of our drinks. I thought it was super fun to be able to customize those to who we are. So star for that opportunity. I really liked Fonzie like trying not trying to help his rival. I thought that was a fun approach. I was devastated in a good way when Wolfie destroyed my new best friend. Um, I don't remember a standout scene for Talon this episode. I just love the character. So those are the stars. And then wishes. I want to see the urgent care / recovery of my best friend
Okay.
or failure thereof. I would like failure to be on the table
Okay. Familiar.
because I need something to hold over Wolfie's head.
Right. Failure possible. Okay. We will definitely
I'm
have
good.
that. We'll start with the little, crash cart running through the halls with the frog skeleton on it next time.
What is this, Chicago?
Yeah. Matthew.
Yeah, I had a good time today. I really enjoyed a lot. I think my favorite today was Cisco and Wolfie, like the agony and anguish that he experiences at, between like being a good boy and a naughty boy is just like very funny to me. I like it. But I do come from a Catholic nation,
was gonna say, yeah.
so seeing that, it was a perverse pleasure for me. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's definitely my star for wishes. I think I really want to see Fonzie get in way over his head. I think yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to that delinquentness like really paying off in something dramatic and hilarious.
Absolutely. I think that is a reasonable wish. Cisco.
I'm gonna give a star to Matthew for Talon's scene where he joined the drama club. That was super fun. Loved that. Nicholas, loved your Orange Julius consistency reference. That was spot on. And then I loved how you had that Finding Dory moment where you're like, oh, you are now my squishy, you are now my pet, like immediately. This is my new best friend. I've known you for 5 minutes. It makes Fen a super endearing character. I love that. Vince, start to you for Fonzie's fighting style and the silly things that he has to say in order to do cool stuff. That is super great. And then Lowell, just thanks for letting me play D&D, because I hear about it all the time and now I get to do it. And these tools are like really super cool. And I can't imagine me personally doing this with paper and pencil. Like the fact that everything's automated is just super awesome. So I imagine this, like whatever you did to purchase this or whatever, just thank you. Like, it's just awesome.
Any wishes?
I want to see Fen's best friend come back. Or not, I guess. The tension there is killing me. And then I want to bring back the the amulet that Fonzie gave Wolfie.
Okay.
May I have the permission to add another wish in
Sure.
response? My wish is for Fen's familiar to come back to really, to get once, but he comes back bigger and meaner and nastier than before.
Well, we will certainly put that on the table as a possibility for what will happen with the resurrection.
The sky's the limit. If it becomes an ongoing nemesis, I'm game for that.
May I also
That I have to hug every time I see it. And I'm
Yes.
like, no, guys, don't fight my friend.
may I also put on the table then that he comes back enlightened, haven't seen the other side. And he tells
Yeah.
Fen about it.
We will
Yeah, get some-
have a variety of possibilities. I will.
That's good.
We will figure that out.
I want a Caramon and Raceland dynamic.
Yeah, jeez.
Oh my god.
Oh, deep cut. Deep cut.
Deep cut.
Vince.
All right, Ash, I had a ton of fun. I know I mentioned in the chat like early on, but Matthew, I adored the scene with the drama club so much. It was so endearing and so Talon, and I am really hopeful that it develops more. For Wolfie and Fen, just having like a funeral in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
Like pay due respects, and building off of that, the cultural touchstone that Fen's whole interaction with the frog race made me think of was All Dogs Go to Heaven. With them talking to the horses, and they're like, "Well, it's this horse's birthday, so he's gonna win." As far as wishes, one that I do want to find a way to pull in. I would like to have some interaction with my patron, with my great uncle,
Right.
compelling me to get into mischief. I feel like it's something that often gets dropped with warlock characters, is that you have this kind of role playing hook that doesn't always get played with.
I think that's fair. So I will say I enjoyed myself tonight. I like putting out the extracurriculars. I like the picks that we had for that. We got some new NPCs introduced on the table. I always enjoy that. And I enjoyed all the leaning into the color and play throughout. So that was good. Wishes. There's still bits of this Roll20 tool that I like get jammed up on. Like I figured out how to fix it, but it was a little obtuse what I needed to do. And I need to spend some time looking over that. And I forgot that there are a little more gears and mechanics. I need to make sure that I just review those quickly before the start of the session, because I got so many games running on in my head. D&D has a little more overhead and maybe even a little more pressure. So that'd be my other wishes. I've got to just take 10, 15 minutes, skim, check, make sure I've got it set in my mind before we go forward.
I heard you wrote a game though. That must take quite a bit of
there's
real estate in your brain.
There's a lot of that real estate, given that I ran 3-4 hour sessions of that this weekend. So
Oof.
yeah, all one shots that I stuck the landing on. So
Wow,
I was very happy with those. But I'm going to stop the recording.